folks, my name's Chuck Newt, and I'm with the Winking Pig Barbecue, and you are watching a new episode of the barrel grill build. And so what I've been doing here, I went ahead and started to weld on some of the strapping for the edging material around the hatch on this thing. And on this, I went ahead and I bought some new wire that I have not used previously. I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a 2-pound spool of 0.030 inch flux core wire, and I did that because of the thinness of the metal. And so I've gone ahead and welded one piece on here, and I got a couple, I'll admit, I got a couple ugly welds on here, and I'll show you. The first one was caused simply because I didn't have the machine properly dialed in. I went with the machine's lowest setting as far as wire feed and the voltage, so to prevent myself from burning through on this thin steel. However, I found out that the lowest feed setting is fine, but I needed to crank up the voltage just a little bit. And then on the other one that caused me the problem, I did not snip off my used tip of the wire down to fresh wire, and that seemed to cause me a little bit of a problem. But now I've got my feed and my voltage set properly, and I'm getting some good welds other than those two that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. And I'm not having any burn through problems, at least not yet, on this thin gauge steel. So let's get turned around here and let's take a quick look at what we're doing. Okay, so there's my first ugly weld, and I mean, it's not hugely terrible, but I had a little porosity on that one, and you'll see these other welds as I move on up don't look too bad at all. And then let me come around, I'll show you this other one. There you go, you can definitely tell I had a little porosity in it. I'm going to grind that down, and I think that this Harbor Freight wire may not be multi-pass wire, and that may have caused me a problem when I hit that a second time. Okay, so I've got another piece over here all clamped down that I'm going to get ready to hit here in just a second. Another thing I found out about this Harbor Freight wire, it doesn't like to bend and snap off like the Lincoln Electric does. I have to cut it with a pair of snips. Okay, now so what I did with these also, this strapping here is 1.25 inches wide, so I split the difference. So I'm going to have 5/8 on the lid and 5/8 overhanging onto the side of the barrel, or the cut part of the barrel there. Okay, so those are my two ends. Now, let me show you here. These humps are going to be a real challenge on this, and I'll show you why here. It's because they're actually kind of like a three-ridge thing here. See, it's got this. Let's see if I can make sure I'm in the camera. There you go, right here. Now you can see this triple ridge here. 2 dips down and one dip, or I should say rise up. 2 dips down and 1 rise up. And So that's going to be a real challenge to bend this strapping like that. Now Alan, if you watch Alan on Alan's welding and woodworking, he uses his cutting torch actually to heat the metal, the strapping, and bend it. But I have found that I can actually use some MAP gas rather than using my torch, my other torch. I mean, MAP gas torch is a torch, but my oxyacetylene torch. And I'm going to give that a try. However, I'm getting ready to lose my light here pretty soon, and I'm going to probably go ahead and do these the front and the back edges after or actually tomorrow, and then so I'm going to get my stuff put up before I lose my light and come back at this. So far so good. I'm also going to take my wire wheel, my cup brush over here, and clean the slag off these other welds on the ones I just did. I'm probably going to grind that little bit of porosity out of here also, and we'll come back at this tomorrow. Okay folks, well you can see I've got one of these done, and it doesn't look too bad. Here in just a second I'll give you a little bit closer up on my welds. I mean, they're not professional welds, but certainly serviceable. I only had one burn through on this. Here in a moment I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how we're doing this. You can see the bends that I really had to make on this thing. Here we go. We got this band on here, on the bottom anyhow, and not looking too bad. See my welds on here. Not terrible. Now this hump here is the less radical of the two humps. Come down here and maybe you can see that the bends on this other rib or ridge or whatever you want to call it, much more pronounced, I should say. I apologize right now for the wind, but it's springtime. There we go. Not terrible. So I'm going to get turned around here to the other side of the barrel, and I want to show you how we went about doing this. Alright folks, so I wanted to tell you this strapping actually is mobile home strapping that is used to anchor them so they don't get blown away in a tornado or a hurricane. And they strap over the top of the mobile home so they don't blow away. And I got this strapping from Lowe's. I had to order it online. I also found it on eBay. I first tried to look up on Home Depot, but I just could not find it on Home Depot. But that's what it is, 1.25 inches wide. It's slightly thicker, I think. I'm sure of it, than the barrel itself. But you can see I just used my carpenter square to cut 90-degree angles on it, and I just use a pair of tin snips. That's all it takes. And then I've cut it a little bit long down here because I've got to have a little space to work with these ridges with. Now then, what I've done is I have used my, if I can find it here, my MAP gas torch, and I heat this up. If I can get it. it. That's doing that all by itself right there. So that's how I went about bending these to the shape of the ridges there. Now then, I'm going to come along and start putting some welds in. Then I'll just move along as I get my welds in here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I've actually got a flower pot, a terracotta flower pot up underneath here, lifting it up so that I've got some space between the top of the barrel to work with on the lid. Okay, so I'm all geared up here to start welding here. See if we can't get something done here. Before it gets dark, I'd like to get all this strapping on here. That didn't work out very well. Well, that didn't work out very well. Well, that didn't work out very well. Got that one. Now we'll just move along. There we go. Get my gloves back on, and well, I just discovered I need to be making some adjustments here. I was starting to come off my line, and that's not good. When I say my line, I'm talking about my 5/8 inch line crossed here. this these welds cleaned off, I can move all these over. Now, and you see down there, maybe you can. Maybe I'll pull around to the side. I got this overlap. I'll just take my square here. See if I can get something. Hold that. And then I'm going to take my snips, just like that. And there we go. And then once I get this all welded, then I'll take my square this direction, mark me a line on each end, and I'll have it all squared up. Problem with the flower pot is my counterbalances move when I pull some of my clamps off. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean that off and just put a little connector weld on it. Now then, we're going to take it over here, see what it looks like. There you go, folks. I gotta do a little adjusting here, because just like on that big smoker over there, you saw the great smoker build. I'll put a link up in the right hand corner in case you haven't seen it. But there we go. I just had to adjust this a little bit. Put a little bend in it. like that. Still got a little more to go, but we'll get there. So the next mission, or the next, I should say, the next step is going to be to put my hinges on this. And boy, I'm really happy with the way this has turned out so far. Like I said, I've only had the one burn through that I had to go back and patch, and it's starting to really come together. Alright folks, you get to see the filthy me after I'm done for the evening. Like I said, next goal is to get these hinges fixed and put on here, and hey, we'll just keep on moving on. When a project like this is broken down into smaller projects. Take one project at a time. Don't get overwhelmed with the whole picture. Just take it logical steps, one at a time, keep moving forward. Folks, do me a favor. If you like what you're seeing, down here, let's see, down here in the bottom right hand corner, hit like and subscribe. And stay tuned. There's always more to come.